Hello, little dreamers. I'm Luna. Welcome to Luna Bedtime Story. Tonight, we'll journey into a world of gentle adventures, kind hearts, and peaceful dreams. If you'd like a new bedtime story waiting for you every week, don't forget to subscribe and join our cozy little family. Now, get comfortable. Snuggle into your favorite blanket. Let your shoulders relax. Close your eyes. Let's begin our story. The Lonely Kite, Chapter 1. The rainbow above Clover Hill. Beyond a small village, the last stone path became a narrow trail. There was a quiet place called Clover Hill. The hill was broad and round. Soft grass covered its slopes. In spring, the grass became bright green, and small white clover flowers opened beneath the sun. A single willow tree grew near the top. Its long branches curved toward the ground, making a cool and peaceful shelter. At the highest point of the hill stood a wooden post. The post was short, thick, and smooth from many years of rain. A small iron ring had been fixed near its base. The ring was strong and dark. It held ropes and strings when the wind became too wild. A spool rested beside the post. The spool was a round piece of polished wood with a narrow middle. A long white string had been wound around it many times. One end was tied to the iron ring. The other end rose into the sky. At the end of that string flew a kite named Kori. Kori was small and shaped like a diamond. His body was blue cloth stretched over thin wooden sticks. A yellow patch covered one corner. A long tail followed behind him. The tail was a soft red ribbon with little knots. Kori loved the sky. He loved the warm air that lifted him. He loved the cool breeze. He loved watching swallows sweep across the valley and clouds travel over distant fields. Still, Kori often felt lonely. Birds could fold their wings and rest. Clouds could float wherever the wind carried them. Even fallen leaves could tumble across the grass. Kori could not go far. Whenever he rose too high, his string became tight. The pull reached through his wooden frame and held him above Clover Hill. The string kept him safe. Kori knew this. It stopped him from vanishing. It helped him return when the sky grew dark. Yet safety did not always feel gentle to him. Sometimes it felt like a hand that would not open. One afternoon, a soft rain passed over the valley. The rain did not fall heavily. It made a quiet sound against the willow tree. It washed the dust from the grass. Then the clouds began to move apart. Sunlight entered the valley from the west. It touched the drops of rain still in the air. A rainbow appeared. Kori had seen rainbows before, but none had ever seemed so bright. The rainbow rose from a distant wood. It curved above the valley and touched the eastern hills. Its colors rested in wide, glowing bands. The outer band was red, warm and deep. Orange followed it like the light of a small fire. Yellow shone like a quiet morning. Green reminded Kori of the wet grass below. Blue was calm and wide. Indigo looked like the sky just before night. Violet rested at the inner edge, soft and mysterious. Kori stared at the rainbow until his tail became still. It seemed to be a road. It seemed to lead beyond the clouds. It led beyond the sun, and perhaps beyond the sky itself. Kori wondered what waited at the end of it. Perhaps there was a garden where every flower had a different color. Perhaps there was a lake of silver rain. Perhaps lonely things found companions there. The thought filled him with hope. "I will find you," Kori whispered. His voice was small, but the wind heard it. The wind moved around him with a soft sigh. It touched the string and made it hum. Kori looked down at the wooden post. The post stood where it had always stood. The iron ring remained closed. The spool rested safely in the grass. For the first time, Kori did not think of the string as a guide home. He thought of it as the only thing between him and the rainbow. As evening came, the colors slowly faded. The red disappeared first. The violet remained for one moment. Then it disappeared as well. Night covered Clover Hill. Kori rested beneath a sky filled with stars, but he did not sleep. He watched the darkness where the rainbow had been. By morning, he had made a decision. He would follow the rainbow beyond the sky. He did not yet know how far he would travel,
He only knew that he wished to begin. Chapter 2. The Meadow of Silver Seeds. Morning came slowly to Clover Hill. A pale line of light appeared. The stars grew faint. Dew shone on the leaves and the willows stirred in the breeze. Kori waited for the wind to grow strong enough to lift him. Before long, the spool began to turn. The spool allowed the string to become longer. When it turned one way, more string could rise. When it turned the other way, the string returned. That morning, the spool turned more freely than usual. Kori rose above the willow tree. He drifted over the far slope. The white string followed him. It remained tied to the iron ring behind him. Kori felt the pull of the string. The pull was light at first. He told himself he would not think about it. Ahead of him lay a meadow he had seen only from a distance. The meadow was wide. Tall grass grew in green waves. Thousands of dandelions stood among the grass. The white seeds were light and soft. Each seed had a tiny crown. When the wind touched the meadow, the seeds rose like silver snow. Kori entered the meadow slowly. The air smelled of warm earth and wild mint. Bees moved between the flowers. Their humming was low and peaceful. Kori watched the floating seeds. They seemed to travel without fear. None of them had strings. None of them looked back at the plants they had left behind. One seed rose beside Kori. It was larger than the others and had a bright brown center. The white hairs around it formed a soft, round crown. The seed drifted in a small circle before speaking. "My name is Pella," she said. Her voice was as quiet as grass brushing against grass. Kori was surprised, but he answered politely, "I am Kori." Pella floated closer. She allowed the wind to carry her. They traveled side by side. "Are you leaving Clover Hill?" she asked. "I am searching for the rainbow," Kori said. Pella turned gently in the air. "Where does the rainbow live?" "Beyond the sky," Kori replied. "It must have a beginning and an end." Pella considered his answer. She was a seed. Seeds knew the earth and the rain. They knew the work of growing roots. "I am searching for a place too," she said at last. Kori looked at her with interest. "What place?" "A place where I can grow." "Do you know where it is?" "No." "Does that frighten you?" Pella became quiet. Below them, the meadow rolled on beneath the wind. "Yes," she said. "I only need the next breeze." Kori looked at his string. It had stretched far behind him. He could no longer see the post. He could still feel its pull. "I wish I could travel like you," he said. Pella floated close enough for her soft crown to touch the edge of his blue cloth. "You are already traveling," she said, "not freely." Pella did not answer at once. A small ditch crossed the meadow. Beside the ditch was dark, rich soil. The wind lowered gently there. Pella began to fall. "I think this may be my place," she said. Kori descended with her. The seed landed in the soft soil. Her white crown rested on the ground. Her center settled between two stones. Kori waited. "Are you sad that the wind has left you?" he asked. "No," Pella said. "The earth will help me stay." Kori did not fully understand. To him, leaving and staying seemed like opposite things. One meant freedom, the other meant being held. Pella seemed peaceful, however. "Will you become a flower?" he asked. "If the rain comes and the soil is kind." Kori wished her well. Then the breeze rose again and lifted him above the meadow. As he continued east, he thought about Pella. She had let go of the dandelion. Then she had allowed the earth to hold her. It was a new place. Perhaps letting go did not mean floating forever. Kori liked that thought, but he was not ready to trust it. The meadow slowly ended. The tall grass became shorter, and the silver seeds disappeared behind him. Ahead, a dark line of trees waited beneath the afternoon sun. Kori followed the breeze toward them. His journey had begun. Chapter 3. The Forest of Warm Lanterns. The trees ahead formed the edge of a forest. Before Kori entered, he slowed down and studied the new place. The forest was called Amberwood. Most trees were tall pines, ferns covered the ground, and moss rested over stones. The forest was not dark in a frightening way. Sunlight entered through spaces between trees. It made paths across the moss. The air smelled of pine needles and bark. Kori could not fly high beneath the branches. He lowered himself carefully. His tail moved between the trunks. His strings slid over the soft forest floor. The forest wind was different from the open wind of the meadow. It arrived in quiet breaths. It moved around one tree, then it continued along a narrow path. Kori followed those breaths deeper into amberwood. As afternoon faded, small lights began to appear beside the path. The lights came from lanterns. Each lantern was a glass jar. Inside grew a patch of moon moss. It released a golden glow when evening arrived. The lanterns hung from low branches. They did not shine brightly. Their purpose was simple. They showed travelers where the path continued. Kori followed the lights. Near the oldest pine, he saw a round wooden door. A small porch rested in front. On the porch sat a badger. The badger was broad and quiet. His fur was gray with black stripes. A knitted scarf was wrapped around his neck. He held a long wooden pole with a hook at one end. The pole was used to lift the lanterns. The badger checked each one every evening. He added drops of water to the moss. The badger noticed Kori and slowly stood. "Good evening," he said. Kori hovered above the path. "Good evening. My name is Bram. I care for the lights in amberwood. I am Kori." Bram looked at the long white string lying between the ferns. "You have come a long way." "I am going much farther," Kori said. Bram lowered a lantern. He opened its glass lid. He touched the moss with one finger. "Where are you going?" "I am searching for the rainbow." Bram poured water from a small green bottle onto the moss. The bottle was thick glass and closed with a cork. It protected the water from dust. It kept out falling pine needles. When the drops touched the moss, its golden light became steady again. "Rainbows do not often enter this forest," Bram said. "I know. I am traveling beyond it." "The wind becomes quiet after sunset. You may rest here if you wish." Kori looked toward the path ahead. The lanterns continued between the trees, but their lights became smaller in the distance. He wanted to keep moving. He also felt tired. The journey had pulled hard against his wooden frame. At last he settled on a low branch near Bram's porch. Bram brought out a folded piece of wool. The wool was thick and soft. It had been woven for lost travelers. It was for any creature who needed warmth. He placed it over the branch beneath Kori. "You can rest on this," he said. Kori thanked him. The forest became quiet. Lanterns glowed among the trunks. Their light made the trees seem warm. Kori watched Bram care for the final lantern. "Do you ever wish to leave this forest?" Kori asked. Bram sat on the porch again. "Sometimes." "Why do you stay?" "Because travelers need the lights." Kori looked along the shining path. "But does staying here make you feel trapped?" Bram considered the question. "I stay because I choose to stay," he said. "Fear closes the door. My door is not closed." He pointed toward the round wooden door in the pine tree. It stood open behind him. Inside was a small room with shelves. A table and a warm bed waited. Maps of distant lands hung on the walls. "I have traveled before," Bram continued. "For now, my work is useful here." Kori thought of the iron ring on Clover Hill. He had never asked whether he remained by choice. He believed he could not leave. The thought made him uncomfortable. He turned toward the glowing lanterns. Bram did not ask him to speak about it. The badger told a story about ducks who had lost their way. They had followed the moon moss lanterns safely. Kori listened until his thoughts became quiet. The wind rested. The pines whispered above him. For the first time since leaving Clover Hill, Kori slept. In the morning, Bram gave him a small lantern. The lantern had a wire handle. It could be tied near Kori's tail. It was light enough to carry. "You may find darker places ahead," Bram said. Kori looked at the lantern carefully. "Will it show me the rainbow?" "No," Bram replied. "It will only show you what is near." Kori thanked him. Kori followed the morning wind. The lantern swung gently behind him. Its light was too pale to compete with the sun, yet Kori felt comforted by its presence. The path soon led out of amberwood. Beyond the last trees, the land opened beneath a wide blue sky. Chapter 4. The lake that held the sky. The open land beyond amberwood sloped downward for a long distance. Dry grass grew along the slope. Insects made clicking sounds. At the bottom lay a lake so still Kori mistook it for sky. The lake was called Mirror Water. It filled a wide hollow, smooth stones formed its shore. Tall reeds grew near the bank. Their leaves moved when the breeze passed. The deeper water was dark blue. Clouds appeared on its surface. They had clear shapes. When a bird crossed the sky, its reflection flew across the lake. Kori followed the slope until he reached the shore. The wind was gentle there. It lifted him only a short distance above the water. Near the reeds floated a small boat. The boat was a wide wooden bowl. It had a flat bottom for shallow water. The outside had been painted green. Oars were wooden tools with broad ends. A traveler could pull them backward. This movement pushed the boat forward. Someone sat inside the boat. At first, Kori saw only a wide straw hat. Then the traveler raised her head. She was an old turtle. She had dark green skin and lines around her eyes. A yellow shawl lay across her shoulders. "My name is Sula," she said. "You are welcome at Mirrorwater." Kori introduced himself. Sula lifted one oar and moved the boat toward him. "I saw your lantern last night," she said. "Are you traveling alone?" "Yes." "Where are you going?" "I am looking for the rainbow." Sula rested the oar across the boat. "You may see many colors here. I am searching for the real rainbow," Kori explained. "The one beyond the sky." Sula did not tell him he was wrong. Instead, she invited him to travel across Mirrorwater with her. Kori lowered himself until his string rested against the boat. He remained in the air while Sula began to row. Each pull of the oars made a small circle in the water. The boat moved quietly. The western shore drifted behind them. The deep center of the lake opened ahead. Sula showed Kori the silverfish. She showed him dragonflies on lily pads. She pointed toward a family of swans. Kori saw many beautiful things, but he continued looking toward the sky. Dark clouds had begun to form in the east. He hoped rain would come. If sunlight followed it, the rainbow might return. A light shower arrived near the middle of the lake. The rain was soft. Small drops made marks on the water. Sula held a green umbrella above herself. The umbrella was oiled cloth over metal ribs. It stopped the rain. The curved handle allowed Sula to hold it firmly. Kori did not need shelter. His cloth had been coated with wax. This helped water roll from its surface. The shower soon passed. Sunlight returned from behind the western clouds. A rainbow appeared on the lake. Kori gasped. The rainbow did not rise above the hills. It rested below him, reflected in the calm water. Its colors curved across Mirrorwater like a bright gate. "There it is," Kori cried. He flew downward. The blue surface came closer. The reflected colors spread beneath him. Kori reached for the red band with one corner of his frame. The moment he touched the water, the surface broke into ripples. The rainbow bent. Its colors shook and separated. Then they vanished into the water. Kori rose again in surprise. Sula waited without speaking. When the lake became still, the rainbow returned. Kori looked at it sadly. "I saw it. I almost touched it." "You touched the water," Sula said. "But the rainbow was there. Its image was there." Kori stared at the colors. "Is an image not real?" Sula dipped one oar into the lake. "It is real as an image. It can bring joy. It cannot be held like a stone." Kori felt disappointed. The rainbow he had seen from Clover Hill had looked solid and strong. He had imagined standing beside it. He had imagined wrapping its colors around himself like a warm blanket. The rainbow he saw looked solid. He imagined standing beside it. He imagined wrapping its colors around himself. "Some things are real because we hold them," she said. "Other things help us see." "What does a rainbow help us see?" Sula smiled. That light can remain beautiful after a storm. The boat reached the eastern shore. Kori thanked Sula for carrying him across. Before he left, she gave him a blue glass bead. The bead was small and round, a hole passed through its center. Sula tied it near Kori's lantern. When you hold this bead toward the sun, it will carry light. It is not the sky, but it may help you remember. Kori looked through the bead. The world became blue and gentle. He still wanted to find the rainbow. Sula's words traveled with him as he left Mirrorwater. The rainbow on the lake slowly faded. Ahead, the land rose toward a line of high brown cliffs. Chapter 5. The Bridge Above Echo Valley. It took Kori most of the afternoon to reach the cliffs. The ground became rocky. Grass gave way to small gray plants. The wind smelled dry and cool. The cliffs formed the entrance to Echo Valley. The valley was long and narrow. Reddish stone walls stood on both sides. Far below, a shallow river moved. Every sound returned from the stone walls. When a pebble fell, its tap came back several times. When the wind entered, its voice repeated from every direction. A bridge crossed the space between the cliffs. The bridge was boards tied between two ropes. A rope handrail ran along each side. Iron hooks fixed the ropes into stone. The bridge moved when the wind touched it. It swayed gently above the valley. Travelers needed to walk slowly. They kept their weight near the center. Kori could have flown above, but the wind pushed downward. His string caught between rocks behind him. He lowered himself near the western end. Someone was standing there. The stranger was a young mountain goat. His coat was pale brown with a white mark. A cloth bag hung from his neck. The bag held salt and herbs. Goats carried these to their families on the western side. The young goat stared at the bridge. After some time, he noticed Kori. "I am Tavi," he said quietly. "Kori?" Tavi looked down into the valley and quickly stepped away from the edge. "I cross every month," he explained. "Today the wind is stronger." Kori felt the ropes moving beneath him. "Are you afraid?" "Yes." Kori was surprised by the simple answer. Tavi did not hide his fear. He did not pretend the bridge was still. "Will you wait for the wind to stop?" Kori asked. "It may not stop before night." "Then what will you do?" Tavi looked at the cloth bag. "My family needs what I am carrying." He placed one hoof on the first wooden board. The bridge swayed. Tavi pulled his hoof back. Kori understood the feeling. Fear made him return to the safety he knew. The little lantern from amberwood swung near his tail. Although daylight remained, its moon moss gave a faint golden glow. Kori remembered Bram's words. The lantern would not show the whole road. It would show only what was near. "You do not have to cross all at once," Kori told Tavi. "Reach the next board." Tavi studied the bridge. The first board was wide and firm. He stepped onto it. Then he looked at the second board. Kori rose beside him. His string was caught, so he could not travel far. He moved above while Tavi walked. They began together. Tavi placed one hoof carefully before the other. Kori watched the nearby boards. The wind entered the cliffs. A long sound moved through Echo Valley. Tavi stopped. "I cannot continue," he whispered. The words struck one wall and returned. "Cannot continue. Continue. Continue." The echo made his fear sound larger. Kori moved closer. "The valley is only repeating you," he said. "It does not know what you can do." Tavi breathed slowly. He stepped onto the next board. The bridge swayed again, but the ropes held. They continued. At the middle, the wind was strongest. Kori's string pulled hard against the stone. For a moment, he feared it would snap. The fear moved through him like cold rain. He wanted to turn back. Then he looked at Tavi. The young goat was frightened too, yet he remained on the bridge. Kori stayed beside him. They moved one board at a time. At last, Tavi stepped onto the eastern cliff. The stone beneath his hooves was firm. He laughed with relief. His laughter crossed the valley and returned from the walls. This time the echo sounded joyful. Kori's strings slipped free from the stone. The wind lifted him toward Tavi. "You helped me cross," Tavi said. "You crossed with your own steps," Kori replied. Tavi opened his cloth bag and removed a small bundle of lavender. Lavender had narrow green leaves and purple flowers. Its scent was soft and calming. He tied the bundle near Kori's tail. "For the nights when fear follows you," he said. Kori thanked him. As they rested beside the bridge, he looked back across the valley. Fear had not disappeared before they crossed. It had crossed with them. Perhaps courage was not a place without fear. Perhaps courage was the next careful movement while fear remained nearby. Evening settled over the red cliffs. Tavi followed a path toward his home. Kori followed the rising air toward the eastern hills. The lavender moved behind him, filling the cool wind. Chapter 6. The Village Under the Stars. Beyond Echo Valley, the eastern hills rose gently. Kori traveled until the light faded. Then he saw a group of warm windows below. The windows belonged to a village called Star Hollow. Star Hollow rested inside a round valley. The houses were pale stone. Narrow paths curved between small gardens. No tall lamps stood beside the paths. Instead, every house placed a glass bowl on its roof. The bowls were called star catchers. Each bowl had silver pieces around the rim. During the day, they collected sunlight. At night, they released a white glow. From above, the shining bowls looked like stars resting on the rooftops. Kori descended into the village. The wind had become weak. His journey made him tired. He landed on a garden wall. Herbs grew inside. Mint filled one corner, and rosemary grew near the gate. In the center stood a pear tree. A child sat on the bench. She was a quiet girl with braids. A green sweater covered her arms. Beside her rested a wicker basket. The basket was woven from willow branches. It was light but strong. Inside were pieces of cloth and thread. The girl repaired toys and clothing for the people of Star Hollow. She noticed the yellow patch on Kori's corner. "My name is Luma," she said. "Your cloth looks tired." "I have come a long way," Kori replied. Luma did not seem surprised that a kite could speak. In Star Hollow, people listened carefully. They believed many things had voices. Those voices were not always easy to hear. Luma lifted Kori from the wall and placed him on the bench. "May I look at the worn place?" Kori agreed. Luma examined his blue cloth. A small tear had appeared near a stick. A strong wind could make it larger. She chose a piece of blue fabric from her basket. The fabric was soft and closely woven. She placed it beneath the tear. Passing the silver needle, she pulled the thread. Kori watched her work. "You are going east," Luma said. "Yes, I am searching for the rainbow beyond the sky." Luma tied a knot in the thread. "My grandmother says rainbows are made by light and water. I am looking for where they live. Perhaps they live wherever light meets water." Kori did not want that answer. It seemed too simple. He wanted a secret home. He wanted a shining gate beyond the clouds. He wanted his loneliness to end. "If rainbows can appear anywhere," he said, "why do they seem far away?" Luma placed the needle safely inside a cloth case. "Many beautiful things seem far away when we believe they must be somewhere else." Kori became quiet. Luma touched his string. It stretched across the wall. It continued west, through the places he had traveled. "Who is holding your string?" she asked. "No one." "Then why does it remain tied?" "It keeps me from being carried away." "Do you want to be carried away?" Kori looked toward the stars. "No." "Do you want to remain tied forever?" Kori looked down. "No." Luma did not ask another question. She finished repairing the tear and smoothed the blue fabric. "The string may not be the only thing holding you," she said gently. Kori knew what she meant. He had blamed the iron ring. He had blamed the spool. He had blamed the string, yet he had never tried to loosen the knot. A part of him wanted freedom. Another part feared the wide sky without a path home. The string carried that fear through every place. Luma lifted a star catcher from the garden wall. The bowl held a quiet white light. She set it beside Kori so he could rest. "You do not need to solve everything tonight," she said. The words brought him comfort. Kori had spent days looking toward the next place. He had treated every stop as something in the way. That night, he allowed Star Hollow to be enough. He listened to the soft village sounds. A door closed. A kettle sang in a nearby kitchen. Someone laughed inside a warm house. The stars turned slowly above the valley. Luma placed a cloth over Kori's frame. The cloth kept the cool night air away. Before going inside, she left the gate open. Kori noticed this. Bram's door had also remained open. The open gate did not mean she had to leave. It meant she could leave when she chose. Kori slept beside the glowing starcatcher. In the morning, Luma gave him a small silver button. A star had been carved into its surface. She tied it beside the bead and the lantern. "This will not make your choice for you," she said. "It can remind you that a choice is there." Kori thanked her. The morning wind entered Star Hollow and lifted him from the garden wall. As he rose above the blue roofs, he looked east. Dark clouds stood along the horizon. A storm was waiting beyond the hills. Chapter 7. The Great Storm Wind. The storm did not arrive suddenly. Throughout the morning, the sky changed little by little. First, the sunlight became pale. Then the blue above Kori turned gray. The clouds grew taller. Their lower edges became dark. They were heavy with rain. Kori entered a wide plain where no trees or houses stood. The plain was covered with brown grass. Flat stones lay among the dry ground. There was nowhere to hide. A storm wind began to move across the land. It does not flow in one direction. It turns, rises, and drops. It carries cold air from clouds and warm air from the land. Kori's ribbon tail twisted. His lantern struck the blue bead. The silver button shook. The lavender bundle released its scent. Kori tried to turn back. The wind would not allow it. A strong gust lifted him high. His white string tightened. His white string tightened. The string still led to Clover Hill. The wooden spool began to turn quickly. More string pulled free. The wooden spool began to turn quickly. More string pulled free. Kori rose higher. Rain reached him. The drops fell hard. They collected along the wooden sticks. Then they rolled toward his corners. Kori remembered his repairs. Luma's careful stitches held firm. Lightning flashed inside the clouds. The lightning was a great spark. It filled the sky for a brief moment. Thunder followed. Thunder was the deep sound. It made the lightning heat the air. It rolled across the plain like a drum. Kori trembled. He had imagined flying without his string. He had imagined freedom as smooth. He had imagined freedom as smooth and bright. Now the storm showed him the enormous sky. The sky did not have paths. The sky did not have walls. It did not have paths. It did not promise to carry him gently. The string pulled tight again. Kori felt relief. Then shame followed the relief. "How can I find the rainbow if I am afraid?" he cried. The storm did not answer. It pushed him higher. The spool far behind him reached the end of its string. Kori stopped with a sharp pull. His wooden frame bent. The string held him, but it also trapped him. He was stuck in the strongest wind. Kori struggled. He tried to fly forward. The string dragged him back. He tried to descend. The rising air lifted him again. The iron ring on Clover Hill did not move. Fear filled Kori. He feared the string would break. He also feared it would not break. The two fears pulled him in different directions. For a moment, he could do nothing. Then he saw the small objects tied near his tail. Bram's lantern still held a golden glow. It showed Kori what was near. Sula's blue bead carried light. It reminded him that an image could guide the eye. Tavi's lavender still smelled calm. It reminded him to make one careful movement. Luma's button shone. It reminded him that a choice existed. Tavi's lavender still smelled calm and sweet. It reminded him to make one careful movement at a time. Luma's silver button shone when lightning crossed the clouds. It reminded him that a choice existed. Kori stopped fighting the storm. He focused on the next movement. He focused on the next movement. First, he turned one corner. The air moved around his frame. Then he lowered his tail. The red ribbon became steady. Then he lowered his tail. He allowed himself to move with the gust. When the gust weakened, he glided downward. He allowed himself to move with the gust for a short distance. When the gust weakened, he glided downward. The storm was still powerful. Kori no longer moved without thought. He listened to the wind. A kite cannot control the wind. It can change the way it meets the wind. Kori began to understand this. He moved left when the air rose. He lowered himself when rain was heavy. He rested against the string when he needed support. The string did not remove the storm. It gave him a place from which to move. It gave him a place from which to move. For the first time, Kori did not see it as a chain. It was also a connection. It was also a connection. Still, the knot at Clover Hill remained. He wondered whether he had confused connection with fear. A connection could guide him. It did not close every path. Fear was different. Fear tightened until it allowed no movement at all. The storm continued through the afternoon. Kori used all he had learned. He watched what was near. He trusted one careful movement. He remembered that fear could travel beside courage. Slowly, the clouds began to thin. The rain became softer. Thunder moved toward the hills. The rain became softer. Thunder moved toward the northern hills. At last, a warm line of sunlight appeared in the west. The storm wind released Kori. He descended toward the wet plain. His string became loose and curved gently below him. Kori was tired. His cloth was soaked. His frame ached. His cloth was soaked. His frame ached. His tail hung heavily in the fading rain. Yet he had crossed the storm. He had not escaped fear. He had learned to move while fear remained. As the last drops fell, sunlight entered the eastern sky. A rainbow began to form. Chapter 8. The rainbow at the edge of morning. The rainbow was brighter than any Kori had seen. It rose from the plain. Every color appeared clear. It rose from the plain and curved above the dark clouds. Every color appeared clear and wide. A second fainter rainbow rested beyond the first. Kori forgot his tiredness. The rainbow seemed close. Its violet edge appeared to touch a low hill only a short distance away. Kori flew toward it. The white string followed him. The storm had pulled distance from the spool. He had more than ever before. He crossed the wet grass. The low hill drew near. The rainbow moved. Its violet edge now seemed to touch the land beyond a shallow stream. Kori continued. The stream was narrow. Rainwater had filled it. Bubbles moved between the stones. Kori crossed the water. The rainbow moved again. It seemed to rest beyond a field of pale flowers. Kori flew faster. He passed over the flowers. Drops shone on their petals. Sunlight filled the air with the smell of wet leaves. Still, the rainbow remained ahead. Kori did not stop. The ground began to rise. He followed it toward a high ridge. The string tightened behind him, but the pull was not yet strong enough to stop him. The end must be just beyond the ridge, he told himself. He reached the top. A new land opened below. It was a country of green fields. Small woods rested beside peaceful farms. It was a broad country of green fields and shining rivers. Small woods rested beside peaceful farms. In the far distance, mountains stood beneath the morning sky. The rainbow seemed to touch those mountains. Kori's hope became heavy. He believed the ridge would bring him close. Instead, the end moved farther away. He flew toward the mountains. The string tightened. Kori pulled harder. The iron ring on Clover Hill held firm. He imagined the rainbow beyond the peaks. He imagined its garden and companions. He hoped to find them. He pulled again. His wooden frame creaked. The repair remained closed. Still, the blue cloth stretched around it. Kori's small lantern struck against his tail. The glass made a clear sound. He remembered Bram. The lantern showed only what was near now. Kori looked. Below him, the wet fields shone. A river reflected the sky. Birds rested on a fence. A river reflected the sky. Birds rested in a row on a fence. The world was quiet after the storm. Kori looked back. His string passed across the places he had traveled. It was thin, but he knew where it led. Pella rested in the soil of the silver meadow. Bram cared for the lanterns of amberwood. Sula rowed across mirror water. Tavi carried herbs home across the bridge. Luma repaired small tears beneath the star-catchers. He searched for a place where he would not feel lonely, yet his journey had already filled with voices. He turned toward the rainbow again. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Kori finally understood. The rainbow was not moving away. The rainbow was not moving away from him. It only appeared to rest in a distant place. As he moved, the place moved too. There was no hill where its violet band touched the grass. There was no mountain holding its red edge. The rainbow was made from sunlight meeting water. Kori could see it because he stood at the right angle. The rainbow was real. Its colors were real. Its beauty was real, but it was not a road beyond the sky. Kori stopped pulling against the string. His disappointment felt quiet and deep. For a long time, he simply floated. He had crossed many places. He had crossed a storm. He had hoped one place would answer everything. There was no final place. Tears gathered at the edge of his cloth. They joined the raindrops below. "I wanted to find you," he told the rainbow. The rainbow said nothing. It continued to shine. Kori watched until his breathing became calm. Then he noticed that the colors were not refusing him. They appeared after the storm. They helped him see the world in a new way. The white flowers below carried yellow centers. The river held blue light. The new leaves shone green. The morning sun warmed the clouds. Every color of the rainbow was already around him. The distant hills rested in violet shadow. Every color of the rainbow was already around him. Kori did not need to catch them to see their beauty. He remained there until the rain moved away. The rainbow became pale. Its colors faded one at a time. Kori did not chase them. He watched them leave with a peaceful sadness. When the last violet light disappeared, the world remained. For the first time, Kori was able to see it without looking beyond it. Chapter 9. The Knot on Clover Hill. Kori turned west. He expected home to feel like defeat. He had expected the journey home to feel like a defeat. Instead, it felt like a gentle return. The wind moved in the same direction. It helped him follow his string. He did not need to search for the way. He traveled slowly. At Star Hollow, Luma stood in her garden and waved. The star-catchers were pale beneath the afternoon sun. Kori told her that he had seen the rainbow after the storm. "Did you find where it lives?" she asked. "I found where it appears," he answered. "That is not the same thing." Luma smiled. Kori continued. At Echo Valley, Tavi stood on the bridge. His steps were careful, but he no longer waited at the first board. At Mirrorwater, Sula raised one oar in greeting. The lake held the clear sky, though no rainbow rested on its surface. In Amberwood, Bram's door remained open. Fresh moon moss lanterns waited for evening. At the Silver Meadow, Kori searched for Pella. Near the ditch, 2 tiny leaves had risen. They were small and easy to miss. They were small and easy to miss. Kori lowered himself beside them. Pella? The leaves moved in the wind. A quiet voice rose from the earth. "I am here." Kori felt warm with joy. "You found your place." "I am beginning to grow," Pella said. She had let go of one home. She had accepted another. Her roots helped her reach toward the sky. She had let go of one home and accepted another. She was held by the earth, but she was not trapped. Her roots helped her reach toward the sky. Kori carried that thought up Clover Hill. Evening was near when he saw the willow tree. The wooden post stood at the top. The spool rested beside it. Almost no string remained wound. Kori descended. His tail touched the soft clover. The string lay across the land. It connected every place of his journey to the iron ring. Kori approached the post. The knot at the ring was thick. A knot is made when string loops around itself. Some knots hold useful things together. Others become tighter from strain. Kori's knot had held through years of wind. It had also tightened each time he pulled against it. Kori studied the knot carefully. During his journey, he imagined the knot as an enemy. He wished for lightning to break it. Now he did not want anger to make his choice. He waited beneath the willow tree. The evening air was calm. He asked himself why he wanted the knot to open. Was it because he still wished to chase the rainbow? No. Was it because he hated Clover Hill? No. Clover Hill was beautiful. It had sheltered him through many seasons. Did he wish to disappear into the sky and never return? No. Kori looked at the spool. He understood at last. He wanted the freedom to leave. He wanted the freedom to return. The string gave him safety. Over time, fear turned safety into a rule. The rule said he must remain tied. The rule said he could never travel farther than the string allowed. The rule said the open sky was too dangerous. The rule said he must remain tied because he could not trust himself to choose a way home. Kori no longer believed that rule. The storm showed him danger. Friends showed him guidance. His journey showed him that being free did not mean being alone. He used the handle of the lantern. He reached under the first loop. He did not pull with anger. The handle was thin but strong. Kori moved it slowly. He did not pull with anger. The first loop loosened. He rested. He placed the silver button beneath the second loop. The smooth metal helped the string slide. The loop opened. The smooth metal helped the string slide. The second loop opened. Only one loop remained. Kori became afraid. If he opened it, nothing would hold him. A wind could carry him over the hills. He could become lost. A sudden wind could carry him over the hills. He could become lost. The fear was real. Kori did not push it away. He remembered Tavi. Fear could remain while the next careful movement was made. Fear could remain while the next careful movement was made. Kori placed the wooden edge of his frame against the final loop. He pressed gently. The string slipped free. It fell onto the grass. Nothing pulled against him. The freedom felt strange. Kori expected the sky to seize him. Instead, the breeze lifted him only a little. Instead, the evening breeze lifted him only a little. He rose above the clover. His loose string traveled behind him like a second tail. Kori turned in a slow circle. He could fly east. He could fly west. He could climb into the evening sky. He could also lower himself beside the willow tree. Kori began to laugh. The open knot had not made the choice. It had given the choice back to him. He flew above Clover Hill until the sun touched the horizon. He returned to the willow tree. He rested beneath its branches. The string lay beside him. It was no longer tied. It was still part of him. It carried the memory of his journey. Kori did not need to cut it away. Letting go did not mean throwing away every connection. It meant releasing the fear that turned a connection into a chain. Night arrived gently. Kori slept with his free string curled beside him in the grass. Chapter 10. The Colors That Came Home. Many quiet days passed after Kori opened the knot. Each morning he made a choice. Some days he flew over Clover Hill and returned before noon. Some days he visited the silver meadow. Pella's leaves grew larger, and a small green bud appeared between them. Once, he helped Bram hang a new lantern. Another time, he crossed with Sula and watched fish. He visited Tavi at Echo Valley. Together, they crossed the bridge while the wind hummed. Tavi still walked carefully. He also returned to Star Hollow. Luma repaired his tail and added a green bow. At night, they sat beneath the star-catchers. Kori was no longer anchored to Clover Hill, yet he often returned there. It was no longer less precious. It became more precious because it was now his chosen home. One evening, a warm rain entered the valley. Kori rested beneath the willow. The old wooden post stood nearby. The iron ring remained empty. The rain passed before sunset. Clouds opened in the west. Light spread across the valley. A rainbow appeared. Kori rose from the grass. His string followed freely behind him. Bram's lantern, Sula's bead, Tavi's lavender, and Luma's silver button moved beside his tail. The rainbow curved above the distant land. Its colors were bright. Kori felt his old longing return. A part of him wanted to hurry toward it. A part of him wanted to hurry toward it. That part remembered the dream of a secret place beyond the sky. Kori did not feel ashamed of the longing. The dream had carried him into the world. Without it, he might never have met his friends. He might never have crossed the storm. The rainbow had guided him even though it could not be caught. Kori climbed higher. He did not fly toward the place where the rainbow seemed to touch the ground. He flew into the rain-washed air above Clover Hill. Sunlight entered the drops around him. A faint red glow appeared on his cloth. Orange and yellow light followed. A faint red glow appeared near one edge of his blue cloth. Orange and yellow light followed it. The blue glass bead beside his tail caught the sun and scattered a small patch of color. For one moment, Kori carried a tiny rainbow. He laughed softly. The rainbow was not beyond the sky. It was born whenever rain and light met. Kori had also been changed by things meeting. Kori had also been changed by things meeting. Hope had met disappointment. Fear had met courage. Freedom had met connection. Fear had met courage. Freedom had met connection. Each meeting had placed a new color inside him. Each meeting had placed a new color inside his life. Kori looked down at Clover Hill. The wet grass shone green. The willow tree moved in the breeze. The wooden post cast a long shadow across the clover. None of those things held him now. Still, he loved them. Still, he loved them. As the sun lowered, Kori heard wings behind him. Mira feathers were deep blue. Her wings moved with calm strength. A white mark rested beneath her beak. Her feathers were deep blue and her wings moved with calm strength. A white mark rested beneath her beak. She approached slowly so she would not startle him. "My name is Mira," she said. "I am Kori. I have seen you flying alone." "I was alone for a long time," Kori replied. "Then I began to notice who was near." Mira flew beside him. Together they watched the rainbow. "Are you going to follow it?" she asked. "Not today. Where are you going?" Kori considered the question. The evening sky was wide. He could have chosen many places. "I am going home," he said. "Would you like to come?" Mira nodded. Kori turned toward Clover Hill. He did not fall. He did not become lost. He followed the familiar curve. Mira flew beside him. Mira flew beside him. They reached the hill as the rainbow began to fade. The colors grew pale, but Kori did not feel sad. Red remained in the ribbon of his tail. Orange remained in the western clouds. Yellow remained in the patch on his cloth. Green remained in the clover. Blue remained in his body and Mira's wings. Indigo entered the evening sky. Violet rested in the lavender Tavi had given him. The rainbow had not vanished completely. Its colors had simply returned to the world. Its colors had simply returned to the world. Kori and Mira rested beneath the willow tree. The first stars appeared above them. Crickets began their quiet songs in the grass. Cool air settled over the valley. Kori's string lay free beside him. He was connected to his journey, yet no knot held him there. He could rise or return. If the evening called him home, he could return. Kori closed his eyes. He no longer wished to travel beyond the sky. The sky was already wide enough for every dream. Clover Hill was warm enough to welcome each dream home. The willow leaves whispered above him. Mira tucked her head beneath one wing. The last color faded from the horizon. Under the light of stars, the kite was lonely no more. The end.